Hi everyone, what's up? It's Joshua here with Alternative Brewing. Today we've got a head-to-head with two of our most popular reusable coffee cups. First we have the Keep Cup in the Brew Cork edition on my left, and the original as well as the ceramic version of the frankgreen reusable cup. What's really cool, and I'm in no doubt about this fact, and I'm sure it's no coincidence, that both of these cups originated and are still made right here in Australia. Not only that, but both brands share similar philosophies of sustainable practices, which after all really is the key to the entire reusable coffee cup industry. And with plenty of other reusable cups there on the market, these two do stand out for many reasons together and separately. Now, it's not my intentions to be listing everything that they have in common, because that would be pointless to the video title. But right before I get stuck into what we're all here for, I need you to smash that like button, as it does help with the YouTube algorithm and we'd really appreciate it. So with that out of the way, let's get straight back into the video. So we're going to do a quick rundown on each cup so we can get acquainted with them. And first up, we're going to take a look at the Keep Cup. This one in particular is the Brew Cork edition, utilizing a cork outer ring around the outside of the cup. It comes in a 6, 8, 12 and 16 ounce size, and this is the 12 ounce size here. They are constructed by strong dual wall glass that's designed to insulate the contents of the cup. This lid here is 100% recyclable polypropylene plastic that uses a tab style clip to open and shut the mouthpiece for drinking. Now, Keep Cup have a huge range. I mean, a huge range of other designs, colors, and materials that they have on offer, but they are all identifiable by this particular style lid. Now, the frankgreen cups are similar in the way that they use identical lids to each other. It's a pressed down button lid to open the mouthpiece in order to drink out of it. The lids themselves include fully recyclable copolymer, Triton, and silicone plastic parts, along with a stainless steel spring on the inside that keeps that button nice and bouncy. And between the two vessels, the original version uses a very durable Triton plastic, whereas the ceramic cup is a dual wall stainless steel cup with an inner lining of ceramic. Now, frankgreen cups do also come in a huge array of colors, sizes, and designs, and you can mix and match these to your heart's content. So when wondering how each cup betters from one another, it does mean taking them through a few simple tests to see how they do differ. And I will spare you the journey from each of those tests in order for us to talk more on the findings of the tests themselves. And that way we find out how they may impact me or you using the cups in general. And a good place to start really is heat retention. And that is, how long will these cups actually keep my coffee or tea nice and hot? Now, it's no surprise in the order of what kept the hottest for longer, and it was indeed the frankgreen ceramic cup. So much so that even after 1 hour of placing 94 degrees Celsius water in there, it was still far too hot to drink. The frankgreen original cup came in next, and it was only moderately cooler than that, to what I would say would be the cooler side of hot, I guess, but it was still a very pleasant drinking temperature. And after that was the Keep Cup, which was much cooler again, and probably past that temperature where you'd think to yourself, oh, this is a nice hot coffee that I can sip for a while, but rather it's starting to get a lot cooler, and if I leave it too long, it's going to get cold. And now this is kind of feeling like a quasi Goldilocks scenario here, but what was interesting in this test was the expectation of how hot the water would be, which was opposite to my experience as I was picking up each cup, as the Keep Cup felt the hottest, whereas even after an hour, I still couldn't feel a thing from the frankgreen ceramic cup. So the heat retention of each cup also mirrored the heat absorption into the cups themselves. It wasn't that the Keep Cup was too hot to hold, but it was noticeably warmer than the rest of them. So the next test was on portability, which covered a spill test and taking a look at travel-friendly options like fitting into a cup holder and into your bag. And this pretty well sums up what is expected of most reusable coffee cups, right? It's usually that they're a commuter cup, and you're either traveling between home and the office or the cafe and your next destination, and replacing a paper cup or being able to quickly throw a hot coffee into your cup on your way out the door is going to be easy. Now, there is a whole other category of cup out there where you have to screw off the lid to be able to drink out of it, which doesn't really replicate a coffee cup that you would get from a cafe, but more so a thermos. and I've got nothing against a good thermos, but they're a different product really. Now, the result of the spill test between these two was actually very similar to the heat retention test. And the frankgreen cups proved superior in their ability to avoid any leaks whatsoever. It is key to mention that placing hot liquids in a fully enclosed, essentially airtight container and then shaking it about is going to find any leaks that might be present. And whilst the Keep Cup did a pretty good job at keeping 99% of its contents in, there were some incidental spills in the more severe tests of shaking it, so that's how we ended up with these results. So in terms of traveling around with them in a bag or the car, first you want to take a look at the mean average cup holder, which is around 8 centimeters wide, but you'd best measure yours just in case. Each one of these cups is going to slide right in at 7.5 centimeters in diameter, no worries. Carrying them on the side of a bag was also not an issue because they're both quite slimline and lightweight. But inside the bag, and I would definitely be going the frankgreen as it's a little bit more reliable to avoid any spills. And the final test was a test of convenience, and this covers drinking from it, using it, and cleaning it. And the frankgreen is really only slightly easier to open and drink out of than the Keep Cup. It's that one button press and you drink from that large hole on the top of the lid versus the Keep Cup, which is that lift up of the tab and then pull it across. You do want to make sure when you're closing the Keep Cup that you press down on that tab again, otherwise it won't properly be sealed. Now, taking a look at the height of the cups, whilst reasonably close, the frankgreen is going to struggle on some of those home espresso machines, where the clearance between the portafilter and the cup below is under 10 centimeters. And this is more common than it is not. Whereas the Keep Cup, you are going to get that just under that to brew an espresso straight into the cup. And if you're going to take a look at a cafe environment, well, I would absolutely just leave that up to the barista. And in brewing a filter coffee straight into any of them, there was no issue. I used an AeroPress or a V60 as examples, except I did have to go and use a funnel of the AeroPress for the frankgreen cups as the opening was a little bit too narrow otherwise. Now, each of the cups have about the same amount of flow of liquid out of the lid whilst drinking them, and I couldn't really separate them apart here, and they were each enjoyable to drink out of. Something that might be a concern these days could be the ability to cover up that area where you place your mouth on to drink out of. And the Keep Cup obviously have that tab there over the lip, so you can cover it up, whereas the frankgreen, taking a look at these ones, they're essentially exposed. And in cleaning the cups, whilst the frankgreen cups do have somewhat of a technical lid, there's a few pieces that you need to undo. It all falls apart and then you rinse and clean these parts before placing them back together. In terms of convenience, you do want to be cleaning your lid that you're drinking out of, if not every day, at least every second day, and especially if you're drinking milk-based coffee. Frankgreen cups are dishwasher safe, so that's a big plus, but cleaning the lid on a regular basis, I'd personally say it's not that convenient, but that lid certainly has inherent qualities that the Keep Cup lid doesn't accomplish. But the Keep Cup lids couldn't be easier to clean. That tab is removable, and then those two parts that make up the lid, as well as the Keep Cup itself, is dishwasher safe too, all except the cork addition. So either removing the cork and hand washing it, that's pretty easy. It's not all that time consuming work. And in terms of flavour taints or holding on to the aroma of past beverages, I do believe the glass performed better in my experience, with less work needed to avoid a stinky cup, even against the ceramic and the stainless steel. That just about wraps it up for a head-to-head on the Keep Cup versus the frankgreen reusable coffee cups. Now, I guess you could assume that the frankgreen cup was the clear winner here. But for me, personally, not needing a cup that has to be fully sealed, I do prefer the aesthetics and the raw material feel of the Keep Cup. And I'm usually drinking my coffee within the first 10 minutes or so. That way, I'm not looking for a thermos style cup, but one that's convenient to use and enjoyable to drink out of. But honestly, whether you're more towards the frankgreen cup or the Keep Cup, the clear winner out of all of this is the environment. And opting to use one of these instead of a single-use coffee cup every day makes a significant contribution to not adding further unnecessary waste to already excessive landfills. So if you have any questions on either of these two reusable cups or any of our reusable cup range, throw them in the comment section down below and we'll get straight back to you. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that little bell icon. That way you stay notified when we bring out new videos, this time every week. See you next time.